Happiness, KALIN. Most of us think it's a personal journey, but what if our individual happiness was actually a moral obligation to society? Today, we're exploring a radical perspective that challenges everything we think we know about pursuing joy.
That's such an intriguing way to think about it, Pappy. We're always told to focus on our own happiness, but framing it as a responsibility to others, that's completely different.
Well, according to Dennis Prager's research, our emotional state creates ripple effects that influence everyone around us. Think about it. When you encounter someone radiating negativity, it's like they're spreading a contagion of unhappiness.
Oh my goodness, that reminds me of studies showing that happiness can actually spread through social networks up to 3 degrees of separation.
Exactly right. And here's where it gets exciting. Prager argues that human beings aren't naturally wired for happiness. Our default setting actually tends toward discontent and comparison.
So you're saying happiness is more like a skill we need to develop rather than a natural state?
Precisely. And one of his most powerful concepts is the missing tile syndrome. Imagine looking at a beautiful ceiling with hundreds of perfect tiles, only for your eyes to automatically fix on the one missing tile.
Hmm. That's exactly what happens when I scroll through social media, focusing on what I don't have instead of appreciating what I do.
And this connects to his crucial point about expectations versus reality. The gap between what we expect from life and what we actually experience is the primary source of unhappiness,
Well, that certainly explains why so many people feel dissatisfied despite having objectively reasonable lives.
right? And here's where Prager's approach differs from typical self help advice. Instead of chasing more achievements or possessions, he suggests lowering unrealistic expectations creates space for genuine contentment.
Though I imagine some people might see that as giving up on their dreams or settling for less. Uh,
Not at all. And this is where he makes a crucial distinction between pleasure and happiness. Pleasure is temporary and circumstantial, while happiness is more profound and more enduring.
that reminds me of research showing how the happiness boost from significant life achievements typically fades within 3 to 6 months.
Fascinating data point, and it supports Prager's argument that gratitude is actually the foundation of happiness. Regular acknowledgement of our blessings fundamentally reshapes how we see the world.
The neuroscience backs that up too. Studies show gratitude practices can actually increase dopamine and serotonin levels in the brain.
And here's another counterintuitive finding: having a moral framework and belief in a higher purpose provides the best foundation for lasting happiness. It helps people interpret challenges as meaningful rather than random.
Though that might be a challenging perspective for those without religious beliefs.
Well, the principles apply even without a religious context. It's about finding meaning through service to others or commitment to causes bigger than yourself.
So, what are the practical takeaways here? How do we actually implement these ideas?
Prager suggests several concrete practices: daily gratitude journaling, conscious acts of kindness, and regular perspective checks. But his most powerful insight might be this quote: the greatest single obstacle to happiness is the belief that you should be happy all the time.
That's actually quite liberating, removing the pressure to maintain constant happiness.
And it brings us full circle to his core argument about happiness as a moral obligation. It's not about artificial cheerfulness, but developing sustainable contentment that positively impacts our entire community.
And the more we discuss this, Pappy, the more I see happiness as a practice rather than a destination.
Exactly, KALIN. And when we reframe happiness as a responsibility rather than just a personal pursuit, it becomes both more meaningful and paradoxically more achievable. We're not just working on our own emotional state, we're contributing to society's collective well-being.